The back-to-backs really don't hit until January the 22nd when they have, I want to say, 6 of them in the next 2 months. At that point, you hope to have Tari and Finney-Smith back by then, which leads me to this question. Is there hope that we see Finney-Smith before January, specifically before Tari's timeline for a return? Because it would sure be nice to have both of those guys leading into that whole January stretch.
This is mostly me guessing, but I think Tari comes back first simply because the injury was projected to be 4 to 6 weeks, and we're already 2.5 weeks into that stint. This stretch coming up where because of the NBA Cup, the schedule gets very spaced out. Between the 6th and the 18th, they have just 2 games. So I think in the middle of that window will be the 4-week checkpoint. And then assuming Tari is cleared, he'll need a few practices to get his legs back underneath him, but they'll have a lot of practice time in there. And so I think it's realistic that before Christmas, Tari comes back, assuming all goes well on that 4-week checkup that will probably be towards the latter stages of next week. And I also think because it's an oblique, he's probably a little bit closer to full conditioning. Like he was already at an NBA level of conditioning prior to getting hurt. And I think because it's not a leg injury, maybe he's not all out sprinting, but I think he's able to stay in better shape. As opposed to DFS, coming off the ankle surgery and having not played NBA basketball since April because the Lakers were eliminated in the first round, I think there's going to be a longer ramp up. I just think between Tari having the shorter ramp up process, it not being a lower leg, and the fact that there's a concrete timetable, like they said 4 to 6 weeks, well, 4 weeks is going to be coming up in about 10 days. My money would be on Tari coming back first. And even if they start ramping up at the same time, I think Tari's ramp is likely to be a little bit shorter. So I wouldn't rule out DFS before January, but he's probably going to need a couple of weeks of building up through contact practices before they're ready to turn him loose in NBA games. And so at this point, for me, with that ramp up process not having started, at least not to our knowledge, I lean to DFS being Christmas or later. Whereas I think Tari Eason, assuming it heals as they expect, will likely be able to come back, I'd say maybe a week or so before Christmas.